to get it out the way, yeah, I do have some cream on my honker. Abreva. This is, it won't focus on it, but it is Abreva. Yeah, there we go. It is Abreva. I don't know why she got that one. Like, it's like, girl, get the generic. So I got a cold, mostly a head cold. Traditionally, oh man, when I got like the C word, the COVID, I've had it twice. Yeah, it's been like boom, boom, boom. Like, it's just no problem. But colds, man, colds have always traditionally messed me up if they make it in. So, and I can tell it's kind of a weak strain because my girlfriend Cynthia is doing well. But yeah, it's just, it's lingered. It's lingered. So I had to be a little bit more modest with my approach. Nevertheless, we made some sensational progress. Oh, so this, which might be on my nose in a few videos, is just because I am susceptible to cold sores. I get them here and then right here, and it's always right after an illness. Yeah, we got the lysine and all that other stuff. Just, you know, y'all gonna try to be nice. So yeah, I'm just rolling with this on my nose because, you know, we're close like that, right? So yeah, wasn't as productive in regards to removing body fat or as much as it could have been, but I'm fine with that. You roll with the punches. That's why you give yourself not just enough time, but extra time, because things like this happen. So yeah, still few changes. Like, man, I got this like the tie-ins in my shoulders. Like, it's like eventually there's like nothing here. Like all this, I hold so much fat here in the off season, it just looks like a big ham. So yeah, I look like I cook good in the off season. But yeah, so changes still happened. Not what I expected. Nevertheless, it's been a good week. I will show you guys my physique, and every week I have like a motto of sorts, a war chant, if you will. And this week's motto has been: stop trying to win. Stop trying to win. But I do want to win. This is conflicting advice. Or it sounds that way, right? Because I'm competing in something, but stop trying to win. You lost us here, Bert. Let me get into that. All right, and what stop trying to win basically entails is, I guess, quit being overly focused on the outcome. It's gonna start cliche, but I think it'll get better. Focus a little bit more on like the process, like the thing that you are doing right now. And you guys have heard this before, surely not just from me, but countless times. But I try to envision, this is what I try to do. I try to envision the bodybuilder that I want to be and what he would do. So it's been little things like maybe a lazy posing practice where I'm like, bro, like you could do better. Or the posing practice, let's just say it ends halfway through my timer as I'm going through my symmetry round. And there's a part of me that's like, okay, well, you fulfilled it. You actually kind of sort of got an extra spin cycle out of it, right? As you were spinning through your poses. And I asked myself just that. It's like, so what would the bodybuilder that you want to be do in this circumstance? So I think, first of all, you have to understand the basic concepts before you employ this. So basically just how shit works, right? At a fundamental level, right? Because you might otherwise think that what you need to do to, you know, at some point be the version of yourself that you want to be, would do this and that. So first starts with the basic core principles of like what's going to drive those changes. Once you have those settled, you have a broad tool belt, because sometimes it is like, hey, step on the gas. And then other times it is like, yo, like ease up, tiger. So it kind of depends. There's a lot of context to what sort of actions this thought process invokes. Yeah, right, in regards to the actions that take place afterwards. But what this has done is, you know, again, it's like, if you focus on yourself and exactly what it is that you're trying to do. And here's a great example, I think, for like a lot of you guys out there. Like sometimes, hey, you want to shoot up to the next increment in dumbbells. But, right? Part of you like knows that that's maybe just a little too soon. Maybe you got to sit on these just a little bit longer. Otherwise, you're going to go up in weight, but the stimulus is not necessarily going to be any better, right? So you think about it and you're like, okay, what would the more perfect version of myself do in this circumstance? The bodybuilder that I want to be. And you take care of those enough, eventually it amounts to something. So by me focusing on that and you know, I come up with these little fork in the roads all the time as I go through my journey. You know, I do the right thing, and again with the caveat that I don't know everything yet. I hope to get as close to that as possible someday, but yet I try to make as many of the best moves possible. And sometimes they're hard moves, but hard moves for different reasons. Sometimes it could be go hard, sometimes it could be like, hey, yo, lay off the gas. But I find comfort in that, okay, well, you just took a step in the proper direction to better yourself. So, and again, this leaks out into everything else, like the coach that I want to be, you know, the brother, right? The son, the boyfriend, the friend, all that. So yeah, that's been the war challenge. Because if I do that enough, that is how I'm going to get the best product at the end, at least for this round of contest prep adventures. So yeah, shorter one this week, some footage, some physique stuff. But yeah, there wasn't much simply because of the illness. Oh, and by the way, I think we beat Bert. So that's some good news. Yeah, that's what I got for you. Let's roll with what we have in regards to this week. I did my best. This is a bodybuilding channel at the end. So as much as y'all love Harambe, I did my best to keep it casual. So apologies for the trunks. This is what I look like right now. So 162 on the running average in regards to weigh-ins. Bunch of soft spots that need to go. I'd say this is about what 8% body fat looks like. Yeah, so this is 8%. I can math it out for you guys at some point so you guys can see. So yeah, I'm about to get to pinching so that you guys can see. So traditionally, when I am in contest shape, every spot in my body is closer to this, like whatever you see in my hand, like all that has to go. So in all, I'm carrying about 13 pounds of body fat on me, most of it in the lower half, but also kind of around my midsection. So as you can see, it's like, you can kind of see what the glutes are going to look like, but weird video. But yeah, there's places in like this ham's ain't split. My shoulders are probably the hardest part on my body. It's always kind of sort of been that way. But even those, like, there's things that are going to come off that. But again, for this first show, I have to pace it, and a lot of the dirty work is going to be done, yeah, like somewhere in the middle of October. So I have one more week, come off the gas a little bit this week, and then there's a peak week, and then I'll have a fresh body because I, got off the gas, the peak week, which lets your body chill. Let's see, that gotta go. That's what we gotta have it look like. And yeah, we'll kind of catapult usually is how it goes. Like after you give your body a nice little pause moment, a nice little pit stop, yeah, you will be able to have a nice burst on the other side of most peak weeks, so long as you run them right. Most people do. They do better these days. So yeah, still a lot of and you guys will see, there's a lot of spots that are just going to get harder and harder and harder. I think specifically, this is why I slowed this down. When people twist is when you can really tell like what's soft. So like kind of back here, lower back area, like the muscles aren't like sharpy sharp. Top of the glutes blurry, that dent in the glutes not all the way there. So yeah, going from at 162 as a running average down to about 158 is probably what I'll have to see. That is my projection. And in regards to leanness, it'll probably be the leanest I've ever been. But the difference will be quite drastic compared to this physique. So again, head cold this week. So we have to take it a little bit easier with the training. Honestly, the golden rule when it comes to training is chest up, you're fine to do it. But in this case, it was like literally just like right here. That's all it was. So I felt quite good, and if anything, when I trained, I felt a little better. And the fever, the slight fever that it would cause the training, because your body temp goes up, I think kind of helped expedite the process. So I had to, if anything, I was able to go a little bit harder than I anticipated going this week. But on the diet front, I was definitely trying to be more assertive than I was, but at the same time, it's like, this lingered almost a week. I didn't want to deal with that. I'm gonna get someone say something about the training and training while sick, and perhaps how it's not fair to others there, but this was so weak. Like, this was literally because Cynthia, my girlfriend, again, I'm the one with the immunity here, and my immunity is usually like quite good. If she didn't get sick, I was just like, all right, if you're not feeling this, like, this is literally just because of the state in which I am in. So yeah, it's looking good. Like, I think this is not a bad place to like open up the season. It's going to be somewhere around this, but late October shows, the November shows, because I'm going all the way until the 19th. Like, by then, I think it's going to be something that I'm really, really proud of. And personally, I can't wait to remove this suit so that I can get back to gaining, because there's been so many wonderful aha moments over the last year or so when it comes to my training, and even some over the course of the prep, because your body's very transparent when you're prepping. Like, if you do things that are right, it's going to let you know. And I've definitely picked up a few new tools over the course of this prep that I cannot wait to just really get after them during the off season. So I'll probably go from that 159, 158 running average from where I'm at right now, and probably honestly, I think a month later, I'll probably put on like anywhere between like 12 to 14 pounds. Like, that is the goal, is to bring down the training. I'll probably train 3 times a week, probably take a week off afterwards. And my job is going to be basically to store fat so that I can get to work on the next project. So yeah. I again, like, this is fun. It looks pretty cool. But your career as a physique athlete is, again, it's a big continuum. It's like you do what you need to do now, given the context of the situation and what propels you like closer to, I guess there is no ultimate goal. Who am I kidding? But it's I guess I see it just as much purpose in like my off-season physique as I do in this physique. And man, like last off-season, I think I'd say the majority of my progress came that year before that, like right after lockdown. I started to put things together, and then by the time that 2021 really rolled around, okay, I was on one, like at that point. And yeah, I've seen some good progress. Like, I think that the arms noticeably better. They're still not where they need to be, but for example, at this body weight, they are 16 inches. They're 16 inches. Last prep at this body weight, they were 15 and a half. So we put on roughly like half an inch. Like, that is monumental. And honestly, I think I can put on another half inch. So the priority, getting ahead of myself here, right? First of all, priority is to like, hey, do the best I can with this prep. And that's kind of a given because I'm in my zone, right? But, again, as like you diet down, you see things that are kind of off. So I'd say the number one thing is probably going to be I think my back is quite good, and I just need to keep doing what I'm doing. I would like the arms to definitely have yet another spurt. Like, I think I have that recipe down as well. What I think definitely needs the most work is my chest. And reason for this is because I am not as barrel chested as a lot of other successful bodybuilders. I think people, to a large extent, like they downplay the importance of skeleton, both in structure and in regards to the size of the skeleton. So, for example, I think, really good limb length, really good limb length for the sport. And I'd say just general structure is just not very robust. So especially there's certain elements of the side poses where I am like, man, if I had more girthiness up here. I don't think I've ever specialized in chest training. Which again is not going to necessarily mean more. I think we start always with like, okay, let's see what we're doing. Let's see if we can make that better. But probably train it earlier in the week when I'm freshest, things like that. But yeah, I need to revamp this area because I think it's going to have a tremendous impact. Like the back of my torso, hey, we've done some good things with, but this right here, just because I got that, got that skinny little rib cage, that's going to help tremendously. It's decently wide, like shoulder to shoulder. I've never had too much issue there, but so there's that. And then I think I need to take my quads to the next level. Like they are a body part, especially when they're fully dry, that like you could see all sorts of things from the nosebleeds. So, and that one I think is gonna be pretty straightforward. I'm just gonna add a tiny bit more training volume to the situation, and of course, and try to do what I'm doing even better. So that's the plan as of right now. But yeah. Hey, 2 weeks out, guys. Thank you for making me do these things, because at some point I'll be able to go back and retrace steps, which always helps the prep. And honestly, it's like, yeah, you don't do this forever, so having some sort of memoir is nice. Outside of that, feeling much better. Next week I'm going to chill out because I don't want to beat up body come peak week time. And yeah, one more physique update come next week, and I'm gonna do it under the most like messed up lights, like the harshest lights I have, and then you guys will see that and be able to compare it to what it translates into up on that stage, and you guys are gonna see like why it is that I'm so specific about gathering formal data the way I choose to. All right, see y'all next week.